I thought that working in schools equaled working with students, not parents, not adults. They scared me. I didn't know how to even begin that conversation, and I felt like I was too young and I was in the way and I was bothering each and every parent that I contacted. But I have gotten over that hurdle. I'm going to share with you some of those mindset shifts. I'm going to go through 5 lessons that I've learned from parents. Number 1 is parents want to know that you care. You're not bothering them. You're actually the link that they need in order to feel safe, especially with the past few years that we've had. Safety is crucial and number 1 to parents. There's a lot of mistrust around the school system in general right now. We've had the spotlight on us for quite some time, seeing how we are reacting to mask mandates and all the safety precautions for our students, right? The most vulnerable people in our community. So now more than ever, parents do need that link, which is the school social worker. We create a bridge, so to speak, between parents and the school itself, because the school can be intimidating for some of our parents. Moving on to lesson number 2. Don't assume that parents have the same experience that you do with schools. Chances are, if you work within the school system, you probably grew up really liking school. I know I did. I played school for fun. I know, I'm a little bit of a weirdo. I played school for fun, had little faux desks set up. I had my lesson plans ready. It was so much fun. I don't think it surprises anyone that I ended up working in the school system because I love school. But our parents, our families, don't always have that same perspective. They don't always have that nostalgia, that warm, nostalgic feeling that we might get. They might actually have been traumatized, mistreated. Maybe they dropped out for whatever reason. So considering that, I guess the lesson I want to share with you today is to really start where your parent is. That may sound familiar, right? We talk a lot in social work about starting where the client is. Well, parents are our clients, and we really have to start where they're at. So sometimes that's just creating a safe space for them as well, not just the students. Lesson number 3 is consistent. Be consistent. I host school social work strategy sessions around different topics. In March, we talked about parent engagement and how to establish a consistent calendar. Keyword being consistent, because you really want to schedule this in the beginning of the year or the spring of the next year to come. You want this calendar ready to go at the beginning of the year so that you can continue to remind parents about all the different activities, events, workshops that you're going to have coming down the line. If they know what's coming down, they are more likely to trust and to buy in to workshops and all the wonderful things that you have planned out. But definitely don't leave the parent engagement activity calendar on the back burner. That's so easy to do in schools because there's just so much, and parents aren't always like in front of our faces all the time. So we tend to kind of leave that on the back burner, but that's the biggest mistake, because we need to put parents first. All right, last 2 lessons that I've learned from parents. Definitely focus a lot on relational. And I'm going to share a little slide here. This is from the strategy session that I just did this year in March. It's available for replay. You'll find all the details down below. But these are the 3 factors that I always have when I am creating a calendar of events for parents. Relational. It is the glue between the other 2 that keeps everything together. Relationship is key because we need to create that trust factor between the school and the family. One of the best compliments that I received once from a parent was the fact that she really enjoyed that I didn't just call and reach out when there was a problem. And she really enjoyed answering my phone call whenever she saw my number pop up on her phone, because there is a specific set of numbers that kind of alerts parents that's the school calling. And I promise you, sometimes if the students that you work with, which many of our clients do have a lot of behavioral problems, or they're at risk and they have different, let's say, not so good reasons that different school staff might be calling home. And so parents tend to get acclimated to these very negative calls and stop answering. The reason why she answered my calls and my contacts is because she knew that I called for a variety of different reasons. Sometimes to connect her to her student, if there was a message the student wanted to relay that day, or they were feeling anxious or nervous or worrying about something at home or at school or between. 2 is to compliment. Sometimes I just call to let them know, hey, it is a very good day. I want you to know that Sally got a good grade in class. And the students often come to me just like, I want to call my mom, right? To celebrate moments, to share hard moments. And I'm creating that bond between the parent and the child a lot, and really helping their communication style. I loved working in the middle schools, and I work with secondary now to help repair some of those relationships, because it gets harder as students get older. So I think just the fact of knowing that my calls were not always going to come from a negative perspective or have a negative outcome or sharing a negative situation, they always were eager to answer because they never knew what they were going to get. And the last big lesson that I learned that also has to do with building relational connections with parents is allow them to help you. As soon as I let my guard down a little bit and I allowed parents to help me, to volunteer for me, this truly unlocked something very, very special, not only for the parent, but for myself as well. I leaned into the community around me. And by this, a quick example is, you may have seen, I need to do an updated video, but I'll link one above. I host a clothing closet in my district. This is something my district had established before I walked into the district and was employed there, but it's a beautiful space of donated clothing, new, very like new donations, where students and their families can shop this closet for free completely. And I love the whole concept of this, but it is a very overwhelming concept. And I had a parent reach out to me wanting to assist me and help me in that closet. And it took her a few times asking me and requesting and checking on me. I think she really knew this girl is in way over her head. And I kind of felt it inappropriate to ask for a parent's help. But as soon as I gave in and leaned in and just allowed myself to be helped by a parent, I was blown away by the connection that we made. We still talk. Her students are not even on my campus. This is a parent that actually utilized the clothing closet once, saw what I was doing, and just continued to show up, not only for me, but also for the district. She became a leader in our district, featured on our website, and it really empowered her, and it helped me so much. So that connection of being able to take help from families in the form of donations or a volunteer that wants to come in and help you organize different things, that was a great lesson for me that I wanted to share with you today. So I want to go ahead and summarize the 5 lessons that I have learned from families here. And hopefully it helped you here today. And if you're really still struggling with how to connect with families, how to build this engagement calendar for families to get them on your campus, to create links, because we know working in schools doesn't just mean working with students. As social workers, we are that link, but we're not the whole school. We want to bring our families into the school, have them build trust with the staff, the teachers there, and work alongside so that we can help push their students to the best that they can possibly be. It is possible, even in the most at-risk of districts. I should know. If you want some more tips, if you want to watch along and strategize and plan with me in the social work strategy session around family engagement, again, all the links are down below for you to check that out. And if you truly enjoyed this topic and want to see more of my parent engagement, I'm going to link a video here for you. Until next week. Next week, I'm going to have an even better one. It's how do I explain my role as a school social worker to parents? There is a story that goes along to this one, and let's just say it did not go well. I actually stopped calling myself a school social worker for quite some time. I had to muster up the courage again to make a phone call and state, hi, I'm the school. It's a whole thing. That video is coming next week, and we will see you then. Until next time, I'm wishing you social work success. Bye, guys.